Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Stretch from Mogul. I'm here with Tori, one of our newest marketing assistants. She doesn't know anything about vinyl wrap, and today I'm going to show her how to wrap a roof using our brand new roof wrap kit. Okay, the first step in a successful roof wrap is cleaning your roof. Now what you're going to need is to get some isopropyl alcohol. You're going to fill a spray bottle about this much with it and then mix the rest with water. This will allow you a cleaning solution that will evaporate. So you don't want to get water underneath your vinyl wrap. So getting your roof all wet is not the proper way to do it. Using a good alcohol mix that evaporates after you're done cleaning is gonna do the trick. So now we can show Tori. So first thing you want to do, just go start spraying. Spray the whole roof down. We're gonna have to get you. It's not just important to just clean the roof. You want to clean the areas around it, because as soon as you take the paper off the vinyl wrap, it's staticky. So any of the dirt that's on the surrounding areas will go stick up underneath the wrap, and it's going to create bumps. And that's what you're trying to do here, is trying to clean the roof as much as possible, get yourself a clean surface without any of these bumps, and then you'll get a clean wrap. So the roof wrap kit, it comes with a squeegee. Okay, you can use this squeegee to get into the edges. Now what you want to do is you really want to clean inside the edges and grooves. Now in a normal roof wrap scenario, if you had some hardware skills, you could take off the trim, you could take off the antenna. But Tori doesn't know a lot about vinyl wraps, doesn't know a lot about cars, but so she's not going to take these things off. I'm going to show her how to work around them. But it's important on these edges to get them clean, because the vinyl wrap's going to need to stick. So what you do is you take a towel or a paper towel, you get it wet like this, and then you run it in the edge, just like that. Okay, and you get a lot of the dirt out. This will help the vinyl stick. Okay? So go ahead, you can show Tori. Most cars have an antenna, and what you're going to need to do is, if you can't take this antenna off, you're going to need to wrap around it. And in order for the vinyl wrap to slide down the antenna, it's a good idea, and also to protect it, because you might need to make a couple cuts on it, to wrap it in what's blue painter's tape. So I'm going to have Tori wrap this antenna in blue painter's tape. So each roof wrap kit comes with about 2 yards of black plus vinyl wrap, or whatever color you pick, which is sufficient for any size roof. There's going to be some extra here if you wanted to do some other parts on your car. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay this on top of the roof. What you want to do is, in order to preserve the most vinyl wrap, you only need to go and cover the edge that you're trying to wrap by about 2 inches. So we can hook the vinyl wrap right here, and what we can do is, to make our lives easier, cut off any excess. So what I'm going to ask Tori to do is, now that it's 2 inches past here, put a piece of tape here, put a piece of tape here, and put a piece of tape here, so it doesn't move side to side, doesn't move front to back. Also position the vinyl wrap so that it's close to this edge as well for her. So just drop one in the middle, Tori. Okay, so now you actually have some excess vinyl on this side of the car, right? If you cut it off without cutting into the area where the roof is, your life's going to be a lot easier wrapping this. Also too, this piece was a lot bigger than this roof, so there's going to be some excess in the back. So what you want to do is try to trim this to 2 inches within 2 inches of it. Now, if you don't have it at home, you can use a pair of scissors to do this. You can cut it straight down the thing. This is called a snitty. So come on this side, Tori. Now what I want you to do is take the snitty. It has a razor blade inside, right? And then just drag it down the side, but don't go onto the roof. So the roof, look where the roof is, line is, and then stay inside that. You're gonna have to come over the other side. Okay, so now Tori's major task with this roof is to get around this antenna. Once she gets around the antenna, she's home free. There's a couple ways to do it. Basically, what you're trying to do is to cut a hole for the antenna. So an easy way to do it would be to draw what you need to take out with this water-soluble marker, okay? So because you're not moving the roof or anything like that, that you should be able to position this, right, and then draw a circle, okay, that is almost the size of the antenna. Now, if you go bigger than the size of the antenna and you cut it out, there's going to be some white showing around it. But the trick is to get it as close as you can to the edge. Now you can start with small circles, right, and then cut more. And you can always cut more. But once you make a cut that's too big, then you're going to show some white. So what I do is you can sit here and you can take an outline with this dry erase marker of what you want to cut out. Then you can take this vinyl wrap back to the table and cut out the hole for you instead of having to cut it on the car. Or just move it a little bit anywhere, right? Then you'll have the antenna where it's supposed to be, and you can just put the vinyl wrap back on top of it where it's supposed to be, tape it back where it's supposed to go, and then you're through the antenna. So that's the easiest way to do it. So here's your marker. I want you to outline on this where the antenna is. In a circle. So you want to stay in a circle because if you make a jagged cut, when you release the paper, the vinyl has a good chance of ripping. But if you keep it in a circle, your cut and everything, the vinyl won't rip as easily. Now Tori's drawing a hole right here. Okay, now this little thing that you drew over here is a little bit outside of it. So what I want you to do is now cut this, but cut with enough force that you're cutting down through the paper and the vinyl, and then giving yourself this like oval. Curve. Slowly when you're making a curve. You want to reduce the amount of, that's nice, and you'll have more control of it. Turn your knife the other way. There you go, the point again. Okay. Now, I saw how that antenna works. It might be helpful to cut this hole a little bit bigger, but like I said, let's better be safe than sorry. We can go try this on the car, and then we're gonna see how it fits. And then because you have the blue tape around it, she can maybe trim a little bit around it a little bit more so it fits down. So let's take this back over to the car. Vinyl wrap is set on a piece of paper. So when we give it to you, it's thin vinyl wrap with a paper backing paper. When you remove the vinyl wrap from the backing paper, it's actually very sticky, very staticky. If it touches itself, it's going to be hard to pull it apart, right? So what you want to do is take your time right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to release the vinyl wrap till just in front of the antenna, okay, in a straight line. So you're gonna have to come on this side of the car and switch it over. You can start on that side. Now it's helpful to have a friend do this with you so you both can pull. So what you want to do is pull towards me. Pull towards me instead of, like now you're pulling this way. Try to pull, yeah, pull this way more. Like so that you're releasing it more this way. And you get it, you get it? Okay, so now we're gonna go pull it together, right? And we're gonna go, don't worry. Wait, it's caught on that back of the antenna. Okay. I'll lift it forward. Okay, that's good. Now you wanna take that sneddy here and cut in an exact straight line. Let's go a little bit more. One more inch more. Okay, so once you have the paper out of the way, we can grab it in the corner right there, flip it back. Okay, now you want to settle this on the antenna. Okay, so you're gonna have to pull it a little bit to get it past the edge of the antenna. Got it. There you go. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to pull it tight to the front of the antenna, like to the back of the antenna. Excuse me. You want to pull it tight to the back. There you go. So you pull it tight. Now what you want to do is lay it down as flat as possible. So push that side down and then tack it. So like stick it to the car. So it's all, pull it, keep it tight. Now pick it back up. You got it, don't worry. There you go, tight. Okay, let your hand go with that. All right, so you have it pretty good around this antenna sitting there pretty well. Okay, so where do you start? You either want to start in the front or the back. In this case here, you should start in the back. So you're gonna want to take your squeegee. Okay, so the idea is to get this in a circle around it without necessarily getting all the way up to it. Okay, because when you get in a circle around it, there won't be any excess material here, and then you'll be able to squeegee it in and the vinyl will slide down the blue tape right up against the antenna. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start in the back, and then this is how, so you would take a little squeegee stroke. So let me show you how you squeegee. You would squeegee like this. Okay, nice and easy. So at a 45-degree angle, you're going to want to take this and not push it all the way to the antenna, but like an inch or two, right? And then kind of work it around, okay?
Three, two, one, action.
Another thing that you might need when you're doing this is called a heat gun. You could also substitute a hair dryer. What a heat gun allows you to do is take the vinyl, heat it up, and stretch it. So in this case here, in front of this antenna, there's a whole bunch of excess vinyl. If Tori gives it a little bit of a touch of heat and pulls it, some of the excess vinyl will stretch away from the antenna and she'll be able to squeegee it down flat. So what you're gonna do, Tori, is make sure that you've picked up all your wrinkles, right? Okay. Then you're gonna take this heat gun. There's two settings on it, right? You're gonna pop it into the second setting. Now what I want you to do is wave it at the vinyl like this. Okay? Until you see it smooth out. So you see it smooth out, that's plenty. Okay, so that's all you need to do, just wave it a little bit at it. If you wave it too close, you wave it too much, you're gonna actually burn the vinyl. So now you can take your squeegee, now it looks a lot easier for you to get around this antenna. A gigantic wrinkle right here. So I'm going to show her how to fix it. So Tori, you want to come on this side of the car. What you're going to do is the vinyl up to over this wrinkle. Now I would put my finger here because you don't want to pick up too much because then you might ruin your antenna. Right, now pick it up. Now try to pick it up in like a semicircle. Lift it by the paper. And you can lift it by the vinyl too, but there's a chance that you might rip it. So just be careful, okay? Because it's really thin, you don't want to put your finger through it.
Yeah.
So just do it nice and easy, take your time. It's okay. This is your first time, so it's okay to be scared.
I don't know.
You're close. Stop for a second and take a look and see where, did you get it all? No, keep going. Just pull it, don't worry. Is it hard for you to reach?
A little bit.
Yeah, you got it, just do it. You're getting there.
Should I just keep pulling the paper up?
No, pull the vinyl.
Okay.
Just pick the vinyl up off it. Because if you stretch the vinyl a little bit, you can use the heat gun and then put it back to where it was.
Okay. I think I got it right.
Okay, cool. All right. So now what we're gonna see how you stretched it out like craziness. I would pick it up a little bit off of where you wanted it to. Now when I said pick it up in a semicircle, you can actually pick it up in a flat line.
Okay.
Like this. So if you pick it up a little bit more, you're gonna be over this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you see the vinyl's pretty messed up right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you can do is you can take your heat gun. Make sure the vinyl's not touching the car when you heat it. Right?
And they all
Just that one spot. Okay, now pull it tight from the paper. That's this way first. Go that way. Now pull it tight. See? Pull it tight from the middle. There you go, Tori. Now use your finger and get those little wrinkles out to the paper. Okay, so Tori made it back to a straight line by doing both sides of the roof here. We're just gonna check and see if there's any bubbles. There doesn't seem to be. So now she can continue by taking the paper. And all you need to do now is just pull it from here to release more paper. Okay, so if you want it to be really aggressive, go ahead and take all the paper off now.
Yeah.
It's gonna release. Don't let it fold back underneath itself.
Okay.
Okay? Make sure you just like tack that part down to the windshield.
On the windshield.
So keep pulling the paper off. Yeah, hold the edge. Yeah, hold the corner. Great. Okay, so now you want to get that center line back in the middle. So come on this side here. You're going to reach in the middle of the roof, in the front. Okay. Now it helps to have a friend with this as well. So one hand on this corner, okay? We're gonna pick it up till we get over the top of all these wrinkles. Right? That's good. Now what we wanna do is, now take your other hand, pull it straight in the middle so that you get it flat all the way. Got it? Okay, perfect. Now take your squeegee and squeegee from the point all the way in a straight line. We'll fix that in a minute.
Okay. Here.
Straight. So if you have too many wrinkles, what you can do is you can pick it back up and give yourself another flat hinge.
Can I do that? Oh.
Try it.
Oh. It's like right there.
Okay. If you run into a problem, we'll show you how to fix it. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
Okay, so that's a big bubble. So you kind of squeegeed ahead of yourself,
Yeah.
and let's check and see how much you left. Okay, so when you have a small bubble like this, right, you can take this out with your finger, and what you do is you kind of run around it in a circle, and put in a little more pressure each time, and get it out. When you have something big like this, if you try to squeegee it out, you're gonna end up with a wrinkle. So unfortunately for this one, you have to pick up to this bubble. So what you do is you pick up in a triangle, so in this case, since this is a triangle right here, you can pick this up, so you're gonna wanna use your arm string and pull. Well, a little more. You got it, Tori.
Tyler.
So you can, but then you're gonna have to use the heat gun.
Okay.
So now that Tori's got this roof squeegeed out, I'm gonna show her how to cut it out and then finish the job. Okay, we're gonna start back with the antenna. So we're gonna go back over here. Now Tori, you have your knife and your squeegee?
Yes.
Okay guys, now we're at the part where we have to cut out our roof. Tori did a great job of squeegeeing out this roof. Fantastic job, Tori. Now I'm gonna teach her how to cut out her work and finish the job. We're gonna start here with this antenna. So as Tori was squeegeeing the antenna, she was running into some tension as she did. So what she can do is start to cut away the vinyl and get it closer to the antenna as she does it. So as you squeegee like the bottom of the antenna or the front of it, right, and you get to it, you can start cutting away the vinyl that you know is not going to be on the antenna. That will allow you to push it closer. So go ahead and do that.
So start up here.
Yes, take away a little bit each time to release some tension. So all of this vinyl that's holding onto the antenna is what's preventing you from tucking it tight to the antenna. So you got to start releasing it, and you would take a cut like around here, for example. That would allow you to get it all around the front of the antenna. So nice and easy. Now each blade that we give you comes with a brand new blade. You don't have to press hard. just touch the vinyl with the knife and the knife will do the work. Okay, so slide the knife along the vinyl, and if you don't cut it, then you're gonna have to come back and you're just gonna cut it a little bit harder. Okay, if you press down hard, what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut through the vinyl, you're gonna cut through the blue tape, and you're gonna damage the car. So you wanna let the knife do the work. Now, if the knife isn't cutting or isn't sharp, each of these knives comes with breakable blades. So what you can do is take a piece of plier and break off the blade and give yourself a new blade. Okay, but this one is a fresh blade. Okay, so Tori's got it very tight to this antenna. So what I want her to do is, I want her to basically hold the squeegee right up against the antenna, so she definitely can't cut on the roof, and then use the squeegee as a guide and cut it out right at the base of the antenna. So the vinyl falls directly against the antenna. So if she's using this as a guide, she can't slip and cut onto the roof. So keep moving your squeegee and your knife, keep pressing it tight as you go. And the rest of the roof. So in the front of the roof and the back of the roof, there's usually a windshield, right? And what you're gonna need to do is basically take the vinyl and bridge it flat over it. You have it actually pretty flat over there. So what I want you to do is run your finger over this little bridge between the roof and the windshield, not pushing it in, but just making it flat. So we're gonna back up, cut that. So just run your finger nice and easy over it so that it's touching both sides evenly. Okay. So now we're going to start over here on this side. All right. Now what I want you to do is feel for the edge of the window, right? With your fingernail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so start over here because we're going to get rid of this vinyl. Right, and put the knife in with a little bit of it out, okay? Right, so you can't really cut the car too much. And also too, the plastic will allow you to rest it directly on the glass. And then you can use the glass as a guide and make your cut all the way across. So what you want to do is get an even cut of vinyl, and then we're going to tuck it in. Okay, so you're gonna start over here and then cut across.
I have to hold it. Can I do it this way?
No.
No, you just said okay.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like
So poke it in there first.
okay.
Now, you feel the edge of the window?
Yeah.
Pressed against the window?
Yeah.
Okay. Now slide it towards the center, holding it tight, using the plastic and the metal against the window as a guide. Okay, so now what you want to do is to make sure that you got a good edge, you run your finger over the edge, the front edge, because if you just try to tuck it down, you might get some wrinkles. So what you want to do is run your finger over this edge, so go do that. All the way down. Okay, and as you go, and when you come back, go a little bit further down.
Okay, check.
Doesn't, yeah, you can go back to that side, you got it though. Okay, now you can take your squeegee like this and then just tuck it in tight, okay? Exact thing to the front of the windshield. You're gonna run your finger across. You're gonna feel for the end of the glass, right? And then cut across. What you wanna do for the sides, since we didn't remove this trim, is you wanna pick it up to just before the trim, okay? Go down this vinyl. And then what I want you to do is just get it right before the little gap that you gotta tuck it in. And this is what's called a lift and tuck. So I lifted up the vinyl from where I needed to tuck it into, and then I pick it up and I can tuck it in there deep. And you see how deep it goes into the gap? So I want you to pick it up and lift it and tuck it in there deep into this gap, the whole way down both sides. Tori's got it all tucked in, all around. You just want to check and make sure it's really tucked in and pick up any spots and make sure that the vinyl went down. Right, it's all tucked in. You can run your squeegee down it like this to make sure you don't hear any air. See, like right here, you have a little bit of air. So you come back over here, pick it up, put the squeegee back in it. Just make sure that you don't hear anything when you're going down. Okay, now you can take your knife. You can extend it a little bit more this time. Push it. If it doesn't come up, push it all the way down and then push it back up.
Okay.
Okay, so now what you want to do is, see down at the bottom where you tucked? Now you want to line this up with this side because you're trying to cover this side, right? Use this side as a guide, right? And nice and easy, don't jam it too hard. Let it cut the vinyl down at the bottom, okay? So take the knife, yep, exactly. Put it at the bottom, make sure you cut all the way to the back, yep. Okay, so now you want to make your roof wrap awesome, right? Come back over, come on this side. So you got this front, let's take this off. Get all this tape out of your way. All right, so in the front and the back of your windshield, you know how we tucked it down? It didn't go down all the way. And that's because underneath the vinyl, there is a little piece of rubber here, okay? Now, in order to make this vinyl wrap really awesome, you're gonna wanna tuck this vinyl underneath this rubber. So you're gonna need something like this pick, right? To move the vinyl out of your way. And then you can follow it up with this squeegee right behind it. Okay, so Tori, if you go like this and take this pick, nice and easy, and move the vinyl as you go, you're gonna be able to slide the squeegee right behind it and just tuck it in the whole way down. Okay, so same thing in the back. There's a little bit of rubber right there, okay? What you can do is hold it out of the way, Tori, and then squeegee it in underneath it. So, a little confusing. In order to complete your roof wrap, run your heat gun slowly over the entire surface of the vinyl wrap to see if there's any bubbles, which you can smooth out with your fingers. Also over the edges to see if you didn't tuck any edges as they'll flap up. This will permanentize your vinyl wrap and make it more stable. Hey guys, it's Stretch from Mogul. I'm here with Tori, one of our marketing interns. Right now, in the past hour, Tori wrapped the whole roof of this car with just a little bit of instruction and using Mogul's roof wrap kit, meaning that anybody can do it, and here's how.
Buy a roof wrap kit now at Mogul. I just wrapped my first car!